Hey girls, today I am here to tell you all a story, and hopefully I can end up turning it into a piece of advice for any trans person who may be watching this video. So a few days ago, I had another dentist appointment, right? Like, you might be wondering, Kat, didn't you just go to the dentist a few months ago? Yes, but I had to go back because you're supposed to go to the dentist every 6 months, but who actually does that? I can tell you one thing, I'm definitely starting to do that because the older I get, the more nervous I get about cavities, tooth decay, and tooth loss. Like, it really stinks. I have seen it firsthand and secondhand. You don't want to lose your teeth, girls. Go to the freaking dentist, or at the very least, brush your freaking teeth. But anyway, on the day before my scheduled appointment, I had to call in the dentist's office to confirm that I would indeed be showing up tomorrow, and surprisingly, literally every time this happens, I'm genuinely shocked because my voice does not pass for a cis woman at all. But the lady over the phone referred to me as ma'am. Like, she replied to what I was saying with, "Yes, ma'am," and she did it multiple times, so it definitely wasn't a one-off fluke. I passed. Moving on, I was very clearly riding the high off of that because any transgender person can tell you, when you get gendered correctly, it's literally like, holy shit, the world actually makes sense and everything's coming together. Moving on though, the next day my appointment came around, so my boyfriend took me to the dental place, and there were 2 guys, at least I assumed they were cis men. One of them was a little older, middle-aged, and the other seemed to be relatively young. So I signed in, my boyfriend and I started talking to both of them, and they both referred to me correctly. They both called me she, one of them called me ma'am, and I was just like, dude, I don't pass, at least, definitely not fully, so it's just, I'm literally flabbergasted. That might be the first time I've ever used that word in one of these videos. I was literally flabbergasted that people were gendering me correctly. It happens a lot, but not to a consistent degree that I had been experiencing. But anyway, I go back to where all the dental chairs and stuff are, and then the actual dentist who was going to clean my teeth, cis lady, she sat me down, started talking to me, and she was like, "Is that your boyfriend out there?" And I was like, "Yes, that's my boyfriend and my future husband, the love of my life." And she was like, "Oh my god, that's so cool." And I was like, "Yeah, it is." And eventually she started cleaning my teeth, and after it was done, my boyfriend came back and she started talking to him, and they were talking about me, and she said, "Yeah, he cleans his teeth really good." And I kept smiling and seeming happy, but internally I was like, this lady thinks that I'm a cis guy? That's wild. Realistically speaking, the lady who cleaned my teeth most likely just thought that I was a max level ultra gayfer, and the word gayfer is literally so hilarious. I remember when I was a kid that was used as an insult. I unironically call myself a gayfer because it's fucking hilarious. But yeah, at least in my opinion, that lady totally thought that I'm just a super feminine gay man, which this is where the advice comes in. I really don't think I'm qualified to give advice on how to deal with getting misgendered, because I don't mind to a significant degree. The main thing that I want cis people to do is treat me like I'm a human being and be nice to me. So yeah, if you're a transgender person and you get misgendered sometimes, the really big thing that I would suggest for you to do is just hold your head up high and remind yourself that you know what you are, and the average cis person doesn't really put too much thought into gender. They literally just look at a few and hear a few visual and audio cues that, like, okay, this person's a guy, okay, this person's a girl, and they just gender you based off that. Most people aren't assholes, at least. Actually, what am I even talking about? Most people are assholes, but you have to assume the better in people. But seriously though, girls, if you get misgendered, try to just keep smiling. Basically, I really recommend doing what I did. Just smile, be pleasant and nice, because it really depends though, because like the lady who misgendered me, she didn't know, and she didn't do it in an asshole way, so it's like, I feel like it wouldn't be justified to get mad at her. I didn't even correct her and say like, hey, I'm a lady, please don't call me a he, just because like, I don't like starting shit. But the main thing that you do not want to do is give cis people ammunition to hate on you and other trans people. Like right now, I'm reminded of the GameStop lady, which that video is like 10 years old. I really wonder what she's up to nowadays. She kept getting misgendered, so she basically crashed out. And like, opinions aside, you have to consider optics. Just be nice to people. That's literally the entire gist of what I'm saying. But anyway, that's gonna do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, girls. I really appreciate it. If you get misgendered, whether you're cis or trans, I know that there are cis people who get misgendered, and I feel bad for thinking it's funny because welcome to trans people's lives. But yeah, seriously though, let me know what you girls think of this video. I did my makeup for it and everything, so I better get some positive. I couldn't even hold that. I couldn't even play that off. Jesus Christ. Thank you so much for watching, girls. I really appreciate it. I will see you all in my next video. Bye, girls.